Hey everybody, Josh the RV. Okay, I'm tripping down the green carpet. Awesome way to start the video today, right? That was exciting. All right, moving on. All right, expanding our content, getting my hands on an RV here. I've never had a chance to record before. This is an interesting little half twist on the old meets new concept of these under 30-foot rear kitchen models. So they installed in the slide out essentially a motorhome dinette that has a power televator built into it. So it's either just a normal dinette space, or it can also pop up to be your entertainment center if you want to. Also built into that slide out is a huge pantry slash second bonus closet with big time dresser drawer below. They really did a good job of not wasting potential storage. The whole rear wall of this thing is a kitchen space with plenty of prep room. You've got decent campsite window coverage, pretty respectable awning space on this, and this is a full tracer, not the little brother LE model. So we've got things like aluminum wheels, tire pressure monitoring, the cool candy coated nose cap, power stabilizer jacks also on these, and a handful of other things as well. I think the kitchen counters changed a little bit. I'm getting attacked by a fly over here. Start of this video is just doing real good. One of these days, fly to the moon. Anyway, anybody remember that reference, by the way? Sorry. But it should be solidly half-ton towable. It does have a true queen bed. It doesn't have an extra tall ceiling. It does have a radius shower that some people aren't going to like. And it does have essentially two-stage travel access, but most builders of this floor plan do. I'm really curious to know what you think about this one. Let us know where you think they nailed it and where you think they failed it. And if you like the fair, candid look at this, hit that subscribe button and let's get in there. So let's give you the point of view tour today. If you were visiting a store to look at this RV, this is kind of how it would look right here. Did you notice how the color kind of changed right there? That's just a symptom of the camera trying to figure out the color of everything and adjust accordingly. So right here from the door, it's nice and open and welcoming. They kind of flip-flop the seating on this as compared to a lot of other versions. It does mean that your back is facing away from the campsite windows, but it also means that your face is facing toward the dining and entertainment center. And since they built that all into the slide, kind of motorhome style, once again, it means that the television is straight across from you. Actually, let me kind of slide in here. Let me slide over to the theater seat and plop down. So this is primarily intended for, like couples camping, but if you have a guest, what's kind of cool is that everybody can be kind of gathered around in here. Everybody can be seating across from one another, playing games, being very social, and still have the TV going without really disturbing anybody. Or it's on a power televator. It can just go away, and we'll see a little bit of that in just a few minutes here. I'm not I don't love, I've made no secret about the fact, I don't love knee knocker post style dinettes like this, but considering it's a slight step up slide, I kind of get the idea because they don't want the table to slide out of it. I think what I would personally prefer is like a single drop down leg in the front, kind of like that leg that's closest to us, and then if the table bracketed against the wall, I feel like it would be more sturdy and stable. But one of the cool things about a table setup like this is that if you like to push down on the table while you stand up, nothing says you can't do that. Now, built over here into the slide is just a huge chunk of extra storage. I'll get you back here to open that all up in a minute. Soundbar above. What is your take on this? Do RVs really even need soundbars like this anymore? Maybe I'm just old school like this. I don't care if the sound comes straight out of the TV speakers. Maybe it doesn't sound like a Bose stereo system. I'm okay with that. But it also just simplifies the wiring in the RV. It just eliminates challenges and opportunities for failure, I feel, anyway. Over here on the campsite, we'll get a look at this, but these cabinets actually hold themselves open, which is really nice. Down below, we do have that big old theater seat. But one thing I noticed about this is where what they did over here. Against that sidewall, handy little side stand, which I'm a person, I always like to have a drink by me. Sometimes I forget that I have like a drink open and then I go get a second one. Thankfully, you also do have the middle, cup holders right there. But I love the power outlets beside it. Perfect little, phone charge spot because I am way too tech addicted. I'm an old school gamer nerd, and I'm always fiddling with something on my phone. If I'm not answering YouTube comments constantly, if I do manage to get caught up, which is not a complaint, by the way, I love the interaction that I have with you folks. But if I am ever caught up, I end up flipping open a game and playing stuff. I don't know. Any cell phone gamers out there, leave me know. Let me know what kind of thing you're playing currently. Over the past year or two, I've been pretty addicted to like Clash Royale. I was a hardcore Pokemon goer, but I feel like maybe my Pokemon Go days have Pokemon gone. I'm not sure. It just has kind of lost its allure to me after a while. I play here and there. I dabble. Oh, poop. We have overhead power outlets, which, I mean, on, say 1.5-inch thick laminated walls, it's what you're going to get. We have stepped up to a full tracer, though, which means that you do have the solid surface kitchen counters, and that is a big old stainless sink over there. Some manufacturers do the like, half-sink dish drying rack cover. I personally prefer a full, but I mean, if that's the only thing you need in this RV, we can get you another one of these to cover the whole sink. It's not hard. It's not expensive. It's a pretty simple thing, actually. Maybe you care, maybe you don't. I don't know. Working our way back over here, let's start taking a look at all the storage and opening everything around this kitchen. Cracking that open right there. The left is a pantry. The right is an additional hanging closet, which is really, really nice. The bottom is just big storage. Plus, here in the full tracer, they do give you doors to access the storage below the dining. Now, obviously, that can fold down into a little sleeper, but that's really all it is. It's a little sleeper. It's not made for, big kids, adults, anything like that. This is primarily a me and you, and occasionally a small guest or big dog with us. That's all this RV really is right here. I think you could outfit this with a hide-a-bed instead of a theater seat. I don't know if the hide-a-bed, when it's open, would totally cut off the floor plane. I think you'd still be able to sideways snake step yourself to get back to the kitchen to get that coffee in the morning like the grandkids are sleeping in. I am a person, I stay up way too late playing stupid games, and then I sleep in way too far during the day. If I had my choice, I'd probably have a completely inverted sleep cycle where I was only awake at night. But that's how you end up looking like a vampire with bright white skin and drinking someone's blood. Do you know why vampires drink blood, by the way? They can't get into the sun, which means they can't generate vitamin D in their bodies, so they have to drink your blood with vitamin D in it. Did you ever think about that? No, you only thought about yourself. You never thought about the vampires, did you? And by the way, did you also notice that inside the armrest of the theater seats of every primetime tracer, there is the sealed brunch bucket capable of holding 2 to 3 family-sized cans of Bush's baked beans? Or so I've been told. I don't know. I'm also not entirely sure about that whole vampire part. It's possible. I don't know. Well, okay, I'm moving on. Need your input. I noticed something right here. As a person who's currently carrying too much weight, if I really wanted the bedroom door all the way open, too bad. So sad. I feel like that just needs to move a little bit. Or they need to mount that door a little bit lower, like 1 inch is all it would take. This is a really interesting kind of interaction corner. This RV does have road mode travel access to the bathroom. It's what I'm going to call 2-stage access. Because if you notice, it actually has a second entry directly into the bathroom. To be able to do all that, though, and keep the length of the RV down, they were forced to go to a radius corner shower. Now, if you look at this, you might notice that there are different size radius showers. I didn't hard measure this. I don't know exactly what it is, but I'm a little bit over 6 foot tall, wearing shoes, and I'm currently about 220 pounds as I record this. And you notice that the door to the shower, I'm glad it wasn't any more narrow, and my head was definitely up in the skylight, because this is a conventional 6.5 foot tall upper deck. The toilet space, though, is what I like to refer to as fairly fluffy friendly. There's absolutely no problems with that. And an interesting thing that they did here, let's crack open that medicine cabinet so you can take a look. It almost looks like wastebasket storage down below the sink, but they paneled off where all the plumbing is, so it's kind of shallow. Maybe a small little Walmart bag-sized trash can would work there, but that is about it. You know what else I thought about? This blank rear corner. If you, is there structure in the wall? Oh, there's a stud right there. Perfect. You could put like a broom hanger or something like that on that wall right there, and have a couple handy little things like a Swiffer readily available, but generally out of the way. Now, it would be in plain sight. You could also maybe put like a coat rack back in that corner or something. That is a 60 by 80 true queen bed, by the way, so it's not the short bed. It's very side sleeper friendly. And it's interesting, the dichotomy from different brands. The little brother, well, I don't know, the stick and tin primetime travel trailer, the Avenger, actually has full overhead cabinets that fully enclose, which is nice. This doesn't, though. Maybe because this has a little more of a swept back forehead, kind of like my hairline, but there you go. Again, it does have a direct second entry door. That does have a deadbolt, by the way, so you can choose whether you're sleeping alone or sleeping with the neighbors. Not exactly what I meant, but for those living in the villages, hey, you know, there you go, no judgment. What do we want to look at? So you have the dual hanging wardrobe closets, which is kind of handy. Let me give you a quick look at those. Pretty straightforward, just spots to put coat hangers. Nothing earth-shattering there by any stretch of the imagination. But you also do have, if we lift that up for you, easy lift storage down below the bed, which is kind of nice. So you don't have to physically wrestle the thing. I will say, though, if you do swap that out for like a really heavy-duty aftermarket residential mattress, those struts might get overpowered. But that's not a knock against Tracer. That's just a thing that happens in the RV industry with pretty great regularity. Now for road mode, we got some good news, bad news. It is two-stage travel access. That storage over there, she's flat blocked off. This is an exact slide system. It is the kind of RV slide that does not like it when you open it only partially. You want to fully open it or fully close it, ideally. If you do have to stop it halfway through, every now and then it's not going to break it or anything, don't panic. But you want to hold the button until it stops making any noise. One of the cool things about exact slide that I've learned is that it is possible to potentially sit in or lay in that slide and occupy it in transit. Now, it can also vary, like the slide system is capable of it. It really also depends on the manufacturer's floor construction. I need to verify with Primetime if that's something they can do here, if they've even checked or tested for it. I've found a lot of manufacturers don't even know that exact slide can do that. The thing is, though, super snacktastic access in the back because you have the the refrigerator, the dining right there, and in theory you might be able to actually sit in the dining and use it, but you do always have the sofa you could sit down and munch on. Please tell me I left this unlocked. Okay, because again, you got the deadbolt. I'm sorry, I just whipped the camera really hard, didn't I? I try not to do that. I don't think about it sometimes. What I was really wondering about was bathroom access, because if you notice when that slide closes, it's like somebody played Tetris and those pieces just perfectly fit together. That, once again, is why they put the second entry into the bathroom over here with the sliding door. It allows you the, travel stop access. So this can be nap, crap, and snap-tastic, but it does take 2 stages to do that. And I thought, as long as she's plugged in and I got power, I'd give you a look at it over here with the awning open so you could check out all the patio space. This is something I used to do every single day as a practice, but just as my processes and things have evolved over time, I don't always have the opportunity to pop every single awning open now like I used to. I apologize, that would be my preference given the choice. I'm shooting from memory hip here. I glanced at the specs earlier. I think the empty dry weight is just about 6,000 pounds. Maybe a little bit less than that. Maybe actually around 5,800, because it's got about 1,700 pounds of cargo capacity and a little bit over 7,500 pounds maximum gross weight. So if you fully max load this thing, it'll come in a little under 7,600 pounds. That, along with the length, is a pretty fair recipe for a lot of late model half-ton tow package kind of pickups. Where you take the RV can change that. You know, if you're gonna go through, like if you live in the Rocky Mountains, you're not gonna want a half-ton pickup to tow this, more than likely. You almost always wanna step your vehicle up one step when you go through mountain spaces. One thing that they're doing here, they put a big baggage door on both sides. Now, they do an enclosed docking center, but I like how they do this. Have you noticed how a lot of manufacturers, to make the front cargo look bigger, they're doing an open face wet bay where, God forbid, you don't have a water hookup on correctly. You end up with water spraying all over inside your front storage compartment. That's a problem. Well, not here, you know, it's not a problem here. Oh, hold on, let me take a knee. Yep, okay, so in front of the slide, we have our bathroom black and gray sewer outlet. All the way in the rear corner of the RV, you have a second sewer hookup exclusively for the kitchen gray water. Now, that probably tells me that this RV also has dual gray tanks. So if you're reading those weights and measures specs, you're like, why is the gray water so much bigger than something else? Well, it's because it's actually 2 tanks. They just happen to be the same size. Easier for factories to use same size tanks instead of 2. That is a cable slide. But if you're familiar, there's actually a couple different varieties. There's AccuSlide and Exact Slide. This is Exact Slide. I think I talked about that indoors, but I stopped and had lunch between the two, and that's kind of a critical figure. I don't want to, forget that. Now, from the basic Tracer LE series, moving up to the full Tracer that we're looking at, you're gonna get a couple things that I think you're gonna like. You're gonna get that power tongue jack to save the tennis elbow crank. Something that is very obvious is the nose cap that you have on this right here. The full Tracer series also upgrades to power stabilizer jacks. Interesting down here, just behind the power stabilizer jack is a gas grill quick connect. Now, I kind of like its location because it's right on the edge of the awning arm. So it gives you the choice of grilling and chilling under the awning or not. That's not terrible. The underbelly of this is enclosed and forced air heated, by the way. And when you go up to full Tracer, you get the cool looking aluminum wheels, but they also have a custom color code kind of treatment on them so that it color matches the decals on this. I almost said decals, which is how some of our Canadian friends pronounce the word right there. I always love those little cultural variances. Actually, yesterday, I met some folks from New Zealand, super cool and friendly, but their traffic lights and stuff are slightly different than ours, and they were a little confused as to why people were honking at them a few times, so we got them sorted out. Now, here's something that I learned today, and I feel badly about this, that I didn't know this in the last 2 years. Tracers have always been rear ladder prepped. They do still, even today, have the structure in the rear wall. If you want to add a permanently attached ladder, you can. They've had that for years. I didn't know that, nor did their brochures or anything ever mention it, which is probably why I didn't know it. But as you can see, to make something a little bit more visible, they are adding that telescopic ladder prep mount. So here's an interesting thing. This is one of the few times I've ever seen an RV that has dual ladder prep. Some people don't like a ladder. Some people like the ladders that are attached to the RV. Some people like removable ladders. Whether intentional or not, Tracer has given you the choice of exactly what and how you want to do here. And I like it when I have options. I don't like necessarily being pigeonholed and shoehorned into things. Now, if you want to add an attached ladder, you get a telescopic ladder. It's going to cost a couple extra bucks. But it would have cost you money to have that installed from the factory anyway. So again, I'm not mad at it. Now, that is a tankless on-demand water heater, by the way. So if you are, running hot water back in the kitchen and trying to take a simultaneous hot shower, it is the capacity and variety capable of fueling everything up all at the same time. Now, a little misunderstanding I found people have on those on-demand water heaters, people assume it's just sitting there burning your propane. It doesn't do anything. It's an electric spark ignition. It doesn't even fuel a pilot light. It literally only turns on when you're using it. So it's the exact opposite of a propane waste. Now, as I always do, I'll leave you some links in the description to check for pricing and availability on this. Any of them that we have in stock we'll have right on our website with pricing. I will also leave you links to things like the 23 LDE from either Imagine or Alpha Wolf, or Ember has a version of a floor plan like this. Who else? Couple. I will try to dig up any versions of this floor plan that I've seen from different brands, leave you links to them, and on any of the videos, let me know which one you would go with and why. I'd be kind of curious. And until next time, thanks again for tuning in. Take care, stay safe, have fun, and happy camping, everyone.